Alright, hey guys, what's up? Sorry I haven't made a video in a while. I've been really busy, but I'm ready to make a video now. And this video is going to be a very, very interesting video. First off, I'd like to thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. It's just awesome that we hit this milestone so quickly. I just started this account in July, I think, and we already hit 1,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much. More videos will be coming. I'm sorry for the delay, but yeah, more videos will be coming now. Okay, now before we get started with the video, I want you to go and follow my good friend, the Stupendous Wave. The link to his channel will be in the description below, and he's a great guy. He has all these Jurassic World speculation videos and stuff. Lots of videos I wanted to do, but didn't get a chance to do them right yet. But if you want to see those videos, then the channel link is in the description below. I highly suggest you follow him. Alright, so let's get started. So on Instagram recently, I've been sent basically, well, this guy, he was on the set in Jurassic World for about 3 months and knows basically everything about the film. So before we start, I'm gonna say big spoilers. Most of this stuff could be real. Some could be fake. I'll let you decide for that. But this guy sounds pretty legit, and he gives a lot of detail into the film. And if he made this up, then he really went into some detail to make this story up. Alright, so again, spoilers. So if you don't want any spoilers about the film, leave right now. Okay, so I won't tell what this guy's name is, but I'll basically say what he said. And it's a lot of stuff, so hopefully you stick around for the entire video. I'm still talking to him as well, so if you want me to ask him a question about the film, leave it in the description below. Try to keep the questions kind of relatively short, just so he doesn't have to answer like a 5-page question, but yeah. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get started. Sorry about that. Alright, so the first thing he said, I asked him, he asked me, what do I want to know about the film, and I basically said everything. So, the first part of this, he basically describes what we already know about the film. He's basically saying that the kids are sent to the island, D-Rex escape, and everything like that. And so we're just going to skip that, so let's go into some new stuff. Okay, so I asked him if he can tell me anything secret about the film. He said there are 2 types of raptors. There are the trained ones, and there are the ones in the old park, which is outside of Jurassic World. The T-Rex and D-Rex and Spinosaurus fight at the end, and there's also a huge twist towards the end as well. I asked him who wins the fight, and he says the T-Rex. Now this T-Rex is the original T-Rex from Jurassic Park. And, okay, hold on. I asked him about if the what are the scenes with the Mosasaur. He says the Mosasaur basically has a fight too. He attacks the aquarium, which I think he meant the underwater observatory, and he basically releases the Plesiosaur, and Plesiosaur is going to be in the film as well. Now take all this with a grain of salt. This could be fake, but if it is, it's a very well put together fake. He said I was trying to get him to tell me the twist, but he didn't want to tell me at first, but I finally got it out of him. So he first said there's a badass scene with the raptors attacking the old Jurassic Park building, which I think he's talking about the old visitor center. And he says that at the end there's a new dinosaur. He said the name's Alrix. It's A-R-L, A-R-L-I-X. As its code name, and it's bigger and stronger than the D-Rex, but it's on the other side of the old park. I asked what's it a mix of. He said it's a mix of a Mosasaur, T-Rex, raptor, frog, and gorilla. I know that sounds very strange, and I think this part he might have made up a little bit, but I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that's what he said about that. And then I asked him if he was making that up. He said no, he was on the film and stuff, and he has proof that he was on the film and stuff. Okay, so I asked him when do the Pteranodons and Dimorphodons attack, and he said pretty early on in the film they break out, and the Dimorphodons and Pteranodons swoop up and kill people. And while the chopper is shooting the D-Rex, then the Pteranodons attack the chopper, and then after that they basically fly away from the island. You don't see them again after that. Alright, after that I asked him if the Dilophosaurus will be making a return in Jurassic World. He said yes, there will. Yes, they will. Well, only one will. And he says there's a pretty funny scene with it. He says there are a group of trainers that go into the old park to find the D-Rex. There are 6 of them. And one of them goes to go to the bathroom, and the Dilo comes out and acts cute. Then the guy tells the Dilophosaurus to fuck off. And basically he gets spitted on with the Dilophosaurus' black goo and gets killed. And that's basically the only scene with the Dilophosaurus, sadly, but at least it's in there again. I asked him if there are any other dinosaurs. He said basically all the ones on the brochure will at least be seen in the film one time. They won't, maybe not in big scenes, but you may just see a glimpse of them for a little bit. I asked when T-Rex attacks Zach and Gray in the gyrosphere, which is Ty and Nick, and he said it attacks them once they get past some dinosaurs and the power gets shut off. Yeah. And I asked him, when does the movie start to get scary? He said like 60% of the film towards the end is gets scary and has a lot of suspension. And I was asking him if there were any other scenes with any other dinosaurs. He said it's this one creature, it looks like Spinosaurus but smaller, and I asked him if it was Baryonyx or Suchomimus, not Suchomimus, I don't know why I keep saying that. He said Baryonyx, so it's Baryonyx. He said first it eats fish, then once the power turns off, he breaks out and starts to eat some people. Okay. Oh, and it also eats some people towards the boat arrival. So the boardwalk, basically. This video is almost like 7 minutes long, so I might I want to split it into 2 parts, but I might because it's a lot of information we still have to talk about. I asked him about the Metriacanthosaurus in the film. He said he didn't see that in the film quite yet because most of the CGI isn't finished and some of the dinosaurs might not be implemented yet. And I asked him about the Stegosaurus. He says you'll see them in the gyrosphere as well as on the Cretaceous cruise, and then you'll see some in the forest while they're running from the D-Rex. Then I asked him what scenes are pretty scary in the film. He said the raptors in the old Jurassic Park building, the D-Rex in the forest and in the park. And he basically said that Chris Pratt's raptors are scouters, which they just basically look for the D-Rex. They don't act on him. They just look for him, basically. He said one raptor gets killed because in the one trailer description, you hear that the raptor jumps on the D-Rex. And so yeah, that one basically gets killed. So that's the only raptor that he said gets killed in the film, but I think there might be more. I asked him, what about the mosasaur? And I asked him if there was a plesiosaur. He said, the mosasaur attacks the aquarium, underwater observatory. And then once the boats get out, he hits one of them and causes it to sink. I think they're getting off the boat and leaving the island, and then the mosasaur sinks one of the boats. And he says, while the mosasaur attacks the underwater observatory, the plesiosaur gets out and he goes into a river. And there's a trainer who's like swimming away, and the plesiosaur is chasing after him, and he just gets out in time before he gets eaten. I asked him if there are any other, like, what type of fish and stuff were in the underwater observatory. He just said just different types of fish. He said most likely ichthyosaurs and things like that. I asked him if he had any pictures or a leaked video or anything like that. He said no, he doesn't have control over that and he can't get video. Okay. Hold on. I asked him if we'll see the Troodons in the film, and he said no, you won't see them in the film. And I asked how long or how much screen time the T-Rex will get, and he said you'll see a lot of the T-Rex in the film. Oh, here's where I asked him what are the most scariest scenes. He said the forest chase from the raptors, and they get to the same kitchen from the first Jurassic Park, and they hide from them. Then the T-Rex attacks the gyrosphere because the power goes off, and then the Spino attacks the city, and he said there's so much more. I asked him what the Spino looks like. He said it's more improved. It looks a lot more like the realistic Spinosaurus of what it's supposed to look like now instead of what Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus was. I asked him what characters die. He said mostly employees and visitors and things like that. And I asked him, does Masrani die and D'Onofrio? He says yes. Now, D'Onofrio is the one that turns off the power because he basically wants to get control of the genetic technologies at the park. So he turns off the power and the dinosaurs get out. And while he's trying to leave to get on the helicopter to escape the island, Chris Pratt tells one of his raptors to go and kill him, and that's what it does. It basically kills him before he can get on the helicopter. And then Hamada dies from the D-Rex while they're looking for him in the old park. And he basically gets separated, and then the D-Rex basically finishes him off. I asked which character would make a cameo in the film. He said Jeff Goldblum would make a cameo in the film. He said it's at the beginning of the film. He's giving tips to children, and you basically won't see him after that. Let's see. Yeah, there's the D'Onofrio part. Okay. Hold on one second. And then I asked him which characters will die. I asked him, will D'Onofrio, Jake Johnson, and Laura Lapkus die? He said, D'Onofrio will die, and I explained how he dies, and Laura Lapkus will die. Jake Johnson stays alive. Laura Lapkus dies because she tries to save Bryce Dallas Howard and the kids by distracting the T-Rex, and the T-Rex basically eats her. So, yeah. Alright, so yeah, this video is probably going to be split into 2 parts because it's about like 11 minutes now. Okay, so let's start off here. Okay. Hold on one second. I asked him what the Alrix looks like. He said it's like a T-Rex face, but it's scarier. And he says he doesn't know quite how to describe it because it's like very hard to describe. But he said it has green eyes. And I asked what happens with the Triceratops and the Gentle Giants petting zoo. And he says basically kids get to meet the Triceratops, the baby Triceratops, and they pet it with the trainer, and there's more of them there, more Triceratops there. Then after the breakout, you don't really see much of the Triceratops, except it basically runs away. That's basically all you'll get to see of the Triceratops, sadly, so not a lot with the Triceratops in this film either, but yeah. Alright, so after that I asked, does the island get blown up afterwards, or is it just still there? He said, no, it doesn't get blown up. The film ends once you see the Alrix break through the hotel. So, yeah, that's basically when the film ends. I asked him if there was any end credit scenes. He said there could, because the video, or the film he saw, it was just the alpha version, and a lot of the stuff wasn't finished, so by the time they finished that, there might be some new stuff in it. Alright, I asked him, what does the D-Rex snake characteristic, what does that basically give him? He said it gives him a venomous bite, and so he was basically saying that it was, I was asking how it kills people and what are some scenes with it. He said it hides while in camouflage from trainers, and then it will appear and kill one of them, and then it will kill another one. And he says if you basically survive the bite, you'll basically die anyway because you'll get killed by the venom.